Want to thank all of y'all for joining NPSOA and Morgan with DirectMail 2.0 for this presentation. For all those who are not members of NPSOA, when we send out a link to the recording, you can join NPSOA if you're a print or a sign shop owner and see some of the other benefits of having a group of us like we have. And I will go ahead and if anybody has any questions or answers questions, you can put them in the Q&A box and we will answer them during the presentation. And then we'll at the end, we'll also have an opening for our Q&A. And with that, I'll turn it over to Morgan.
Thanks, Nat. And thanks everybody for joining us today. We're going to be focusing on the utilization of a very specific technology that will help us to really make mail the hero in our marketing efforts. And the way that we utilize this pixel is to create direct mail campaigns for something called direct mail retargeting. And this gives us the ability to convert anonymous website visitors into leads. Essentially, we're going to talk today about how we can get about 26% of our customers or your clients' customers to return to their website through the utilization of this marketing tactic. A little bit about me. My name is Morgan DiGiorgio. I am the Senior Vice President Sales at DirectMail 2.0. And DirectMail 2.0 is a company that we have a 7 to 11 technology marketing automation platform. And our sole purpose is to improve the direct mail marketing channel or make the direct mail marketing channel the best marketing channel there is by improving it through the utilization of technology integration. So we help to improve the way that direct mail is tracked and also lift the response on the direct mail marketing channel through the integration of different digital technologies. I do have over 20 years professional experience in different leadership roles in technology, sales, and marketing. I have a Bachelor of Science from the University of Florida, and I do spend a lot of time in nonprofit and service-based commitment roles when I'm not busy with all of my professional endeavors. So typically we talk about the integration of digital into direct mail to improve its response and the trackability of the direct mail marketing channel. But we're going to be focusing today on a very specific technology that we have here at DirectMail 2.0 and how we utilize this to create direct mail campaigns to increase conversions. So the average business is using somewhere between around 4 different marketing channels, and they're typically utilizing one of 2 different ways to target through these marketing solutions. The first one is an omni-channel marketing strategy. And omni-channel marketing is really what we focus on here. And that's utilizing repetition to repeat the same cyclical message over and over again through a multitude of different channels and primarily to a very specific audience. And so multi-channel marketing is where we're starting with the company and we're displaying or delivering a different message through a multitude of different channels, sometimes to the same audience and other times to different audiences. So when people respond to marketing, irregardless of what type of a marketing strategy that you're using or your customers are using, most people respond to marketing in the same way. And I'm sure that we can all identify with this because this is how we respond to marketing. And MIT did a study and they found that about 90% of people, when they respond to marketing, will visit a website. And I know this to be true. I don't need a study to know, because if someone tells me about a product or service, or I see a billboard or I see a social ad or receive a direct mail piece, and I am interested in learning more about that product or service or that organization, I'm going to go online. And that's how we start to make that decision-making process before we actually convert and make a purchase. Well, that's fantastic. Our marketing's working. People are going to our website. They're getting closer to that decision-making or that purchase. However, according to Google Analytics, about 96% of people are going to leave without converting, without making that purchase. So our marketing is working, it's driving the initial conversion, but we're not yet garnering that sale. And so what occurs when somebody leaves the website? Well, typically a potential prospect or consumer is going to leave because they want to do a little bit more research before they make a purchase. So they'll leave, they'll go to a competitor's website. Unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, but a portion of your marketing is driving traffic to your competitors' websites. And so it's so integral that we continue to re-engage them in some way, shape, or form so that we can drive them back and that we garner that ROI on our marketing spend. And when we leave and we go to these competitors' websites, we're doing that because we want to price shop. We want to see what other organizations out there have the same products and services and what are their price points? Can we get a better price? What are their reviews? What's the company's reputation? I can spend 20 minutes on just Amazon looking at 4 or 5 different sellers of one product, making sure I'm getting the best price. I read the reviews. And so consumers have access to so much information in today's time and space, and they're running their due diligence before making a purchase. So what type of different consumers or prospective buyers do we have on our website? Well, we have casual browsers, they've seen an ad or they got to our site somehow and they're just casually browsing around. They're probably never going to make a purchase. Then we have undecided consumers. They're interested in our products and services. They're probably going to buy, but they're just not ready to buy yet. And then we have active shoppers, cash in hand, who convert. And that's the 4% that we get that initial conversion right away. So who do we want to focus on? Well, we want to focus on the 96% of people that are interested. They're probably going to buy, we hope from us, but they're just undecided at this point in time. So how do we get them to decide to engage in business with us? Well, most businesses will utilize a tactic called digital retargeting to put the website visitors into a funnel and continue to hit them until they convert. And we've all experienced this. We go to a website, we look at something, we're interested, we're browsing the web. We see a picture of this item, in the Google ad space somewhere. Potentially an ad might pop up in our social media. Maybe we receive an email. Most businesses have some type of digital retargeting incorporated into their marketing strategy. This is very common, right? But did you know that we can do the same thing with direct mail retargeting? Retargeted direct mail actually enables a brand or a company to send a custom mail piece to a website visitor. And this is very effective. About 47% of marketing respondents reported that retargeted direct mail actually increased their conversion rates. And we can send these custom mail pieces to the website visitors based on what actions that they actually took on the website. So for example, I go to a website, I start looking at a particular product, I spend a certain amount of time on there, I decide, you know what, I'm just not ready to buy right now. Let me look at a few other companies, see if I can get a better price on this. Maybe I can find a coupon through one of them by signing up as a new customer. I'm just not ready to make that purchase. And then when I get to the other competitor sites, I'm just not thoroughly convinced yet to make the purchase there either, right? So I don't convert. I was interested, I might buy it sometime, I might not. Well, 2 days later, now utilizing technology, this organization knows that I was on the website. They know in particular what I was looking at or what I was interested in. And I receive a mail piece with a picture of that item, that product or service that I was looking at, with a really good offer and a strong call to action that initiates that purchase decision, drives me back to the website that I was on initially, and I convert. And this has happened to me a few times, as a consumer, right? And it works and it's very effective. And we look at the statistics surrounding direct mail, we know that that tangible piece of mail, when inserted into a marketing strategy, is very effective, right? It's also something that I'm probably going to keep in my household for, on average, if you look at the stats, around 17 days, rather than a social ad that maybe pops up or something that I only see for a split second. It's tangible, it's physical, and it makes a very astounding impression. It's very impressive when someone is on a website and all of a sudden they're retargeted with a very well put together, tangible direct mail piece. And I think that it speaks volumes about an organization and their marketing strategy. So, wow, I mean, that seems like it would be very effective. And I don't know if anybody on the webinar today has experienced direct mail retargeting, or how it worked for you, or if it did work in converting a purchase. We'll get into the stats a little bit here. It actually has some pretty astronomical response rates when this technology and this marketing tactic is utilized. But how does this really all work? I mean, how, when someone goes to a website, do they know who they are and what they were looking at? How does this work? Well, there's a pixel that's created, just a little snippet of code. It goes on the back end of a website. It literally takes maybe 2 seconds to put it on the site. And then from there, once that pixel's on the site, it has the ability to track and identify unique website visitors and information about the behaviors that they've taken when they're on the site. So the first thing that we look at when someone goes to the website, or this technology looks at, is the IP address that website visitor is pinging off of. But that's not really thorough enough to be able to identify anonymous website visitors. So from there, we look a little further. We look into the device ID. Is it a cell phone? Is it a laptop? Is it a home computer? So first IP, then device ID. And then from there, we look even more granularly into cookies on the device. And then we also look at numerous different geolocation filters. We compile all the data that's aggregated that we've been able to pull from these different lookup points. And then from there, the data is analyzed on the back end and pulled through several different databases to pull out and provide a 95% accurate residential address for that website visitor. And with that 95% accurate residential address, we're able to also provide additional information about that website visitor. And I'll show you a little bit more about that here when we get into a few more slides. So direct mail retargeting statistics. Well, why is this so effective? On average, about 81% of consumers want brands to know them and to understand when to approach them and when not to. So a lot of times I might hear from a client when we're talking about some type of retargeting, whether it's digital retargeting or it's direct mail retargeting. Maybe they think that this is creepy, or that people don't want to be retargeted, or that a customer might feel that it might be annoying to be retargeted. But truth be told, people actually prefer to be marketed to about things that they're interested in. Absolutely, I want you to mail me a 20% off coupon for whatever that product or service is that I need for my daughter for dance class, or that I'm looking at for my office, or when I'm looking at different solutions for something that we might need for the business. Absolutely, I want to be marketed to about companies and organizations that I've shown an interest in and how they can add more value to me as a consumer, and tell me about why I should engage in business with them. People prefer to be marketed to about things that they're interested in, 100%. They also prefer personalization in marketing. They like to be marketed to about things that they've shown an interest in. Maybe it's past or previous purchases, right? Or for example, something that I'm specifically looking at on a website. So this is very effective. Now, another reason why this is effective is because it's employing repetition, and repetition is what is really essential in marketing, irregardless of whatever marketing channel you're utilizing. That's why we don't really believe in a one and done type strategy with direct mail. Are you going to get a response with a one and done? Absolutely. But in all reality, you're just scratching the surface of the kind of results you could get if you utilize the direct mail marketing channel and employed repetition. I always like to recommend at least a series of 3, to the same list, preferable, or multiple lists. And at DirectMail 2.0, we employ the methodology of repetition, where we repeat the same message that's going out on the direct mail piece through a multitude of different digital channels, reminding that direct mail recipient of the interest, or that they saw that direct mail piece, or giving them additional opportunities to respond to the marketing. Because there are so many different variables that come into play when we think about when is somebody ready to convert, right? Perhaps when you send me the direct mail piece, or perhaps when I see a social media ad, the timing isn't right? The stars haven't aligned in that moment. Maybe there's financial factors involved. Potentially I need to talk to the decision maker, right? So the more opportunities we can give that prospect or potential consumer to convert, the higher the likelihood that we're going to get that business. We literally want to put them into a funnel once they've shown that interest, and we need to hit them until they convert. And direct mail retargeting is employing that exact same tactic where we're getting in front of the prospect again, we're reminding them of their interest, but we're sweetening the deal by providing a very good offer and a strong call to action and striking that conversion. So direct mail retargeting can lead to about a 14% decrease in abandoned shopping carts and about an 8% increase in average order size. So for example, let's say that I see a pair of shoes online on social media and I go on the website and I look at them and I add them to my cart and I think, oh my gosh, if another package shows up at my house, I just don't want to hear about it from Drew, so I leave, I say, don't need this pair of shoes. And I just abandon my cart, right? Well, 2 days later, now maybe I get a postcard in the mail with a picture of that pair of shoes and 20% off. And I say, oh, I do have that wedding this weekend. 20% off is a super strong deal. So I come back to the website and also I see that now, if I maybe buy 2 pairs, because if my order size is a certain amount, they'll also offer me free shipping. So now I've came back, I've converted, and I've increased average order size because I'm buying 2 now so that I can get the free shipping. And this is just one example of how this direct mail retargeting can work. This also can work very effectively for B2B or abandoned form, right? Potentially we utilize a direct mail piece to re-engage a business prospect that was interested in a service that maybe we provide here in a business organization. And you can re-engage them in that exact same manner. And you can market to them about the additional value that you're going to provide to them above and beyond potentially competitors in the area. About 68% of marketers who use retargeted direct mail actually report an increase in website traffic. And that's because it's driving people back to the website. You're re-engaging their interest, you're capturing them, you're driving them back to not just go to the website, but in most instances to drive that conversion. So let's take a look real quick here at the 4 stages of direct mail retargeting. The first stage is the awareness stage. These are people that are just browsing. They're not really serious buyers. They might just be on your homepage kind of looking around, right? So if you were going to re-engage them with a direct mail piece, the messaging should be really broad. Something about your organization, a nice offer to drive them back, to start drilling down into maybe some of those more product or category level pages on your page. So something relevant, broad, but a good offer and strong call to action. Now, the next stage is the consideration stage. And this is a repeat website visitor. Maybe they viewed the same pages and products multiple times. And this person is showing an interest, right? They keep coming back to the site. They keep looking at the same products. They haven't purchased yet. There's something that's preventing them from purchasing, right? But they're very interested. They're spending that time and they keep coming back to the website. So this is a really good example of where a little something to push them over the edge into converting would be very effective. And so this direct mail piece should specifically speak to exactly what they were looking at with a compelling offer to drive them back. The next stage is the purchase stage. And this is the abandoned shopping carts or abandoned form, right? So they have a strong intent to purchase. Something caused them to abandon the cart. And this direct mail piece should be directly related to their shopping cart, encourage that purchase, a really good offer to drive them back. And this is, the example that I just gave a few minutes ago. This is specifically what I'm speaking about here. Now, lastly is the loyalty stage. Okay, so a lot of times I might hear from a client, hey, Morgan, this is really fantastic, but I'm really not interested in getting the contact information or the information about our existing customers that are on the website. Do we have the ability to suppress these customers out of the leads that we're acquiring with this pixel? So a few things here. Yes, we can suppress out existing customers from a pixel on a website. And there's some instances that potentially you'd want to do that. If, for example, my lights just turned off from here. If, for example, it's a bank, we absolutely do not need the contact information of everybody that's coming to their website that's just logging in to check their bank account balance, right? That would be silly. However, maybe they may be very interested in grabbing everybody that is on their home equity line of credit page, right? Because maybe they want to put a marketing effort together where they're targeting people that are interested in a home equity loan. But if they have a pixel on the site and it's firing site-wide, they're going to capture the contact information of people logging in to check their bank account balances. So we can do a couple of things. If there's something on the page that they're interested in, we can run suppressions, but we can also only pixel or track just certain pages on the site. So we don't have to have the pixel firing site-wide. You can pick just very specific pages on the website that you'd like to track and grab contact information for. Now, the other thing that I want to speak about on this is that, it's a broad statement, right? But about 80% of sales come from 20% of customers. And so what I mean by that is just because you have your customers' contact information does not mean that it isn't valuable to identify that an existing customer is in your website. So potentially, maybe your customer is engaging in business with you and frequently purchasing product A, and you have record of that and you have knowledge of that, right? But now, maybe they're coming to your site and they're interested in products B, C, D, and E. It would be extremely valuable for you to know that an existing customer is also interested in all of these other ancillary products and services that you have, so that you have an opportunity to market to them about that and capture additional revenue from those existing customers with those other products and services that you have. So just because you have your customers' information, I really like to strongly encourage a barring from grabbing existing customers' information, because there's a lot of additional revenue streams that you potentially could be missing out on just by completely omitting it because they're a customer and you have their contact information. Right. So this type of direct mail piece should include, exclusive shopping perks, maybe some type of loyalty offer, something that's going to encourage them to come back and make a repeat purchase. Right. But also, if they were looking at products B, C, D, and E, a very compelling offer for products B, C, D, and E. But there's also a lot of organizations that I purchase things from all the time, and then maybe I stop, right? I don't know. Maybe I find somebody else that I like that provides the product and service better. Maybe you need to bring me back over to your website. If I come over just to check, hey, has something changed? Do they have a better offer going on here? You may need to bring my business back, or maybe you want to get more frequent purchases out of me. So getting existing customers' information is still valuable in a lot of these scenarios here. So the keys to direct mail retargeting, a couple things here. Speed, very important that we time these direct mail retargeting campaigns appropriately. And what I mean by that is getting in front of the website visitor as soon as possible is really imperative to driving the conversion. Now, depending upon what type of a business it is, you may have a longer lead time, or you may have more leeway between the necessity of pulling down the information and sending out a direct mail piece. But there are certain things where if you wait too long of a period of time, they may have already made the purchase. They've already bought it, they've already got what they need, and you might be a day late and a dollar short. So strike while the iron's hot. You have the access to this technology, you have their information, utilize it to your advantage to get in front of them with that direct mail piece and drive the conversion into your organization. Because remember, when they leave your website, they're going over to competitors' pages. And so it really behooves you to get in front of them as soon as possible to capture their attention back and drive that purchase. Utilizing personalization. We can take the information that we're grabbing from this pixel, and that I'll show you in a minute, is actually provided in a report to you to customize these direct mail pieces. Not only can we append information like name, or other things about the direct mail recipient or the website visitor, you can specifically personalize it to their browsing experience so that we get that brand recognition or that recall of what it was that they were looking at on the website. Making sure that we have a clear, concise call to action. Tell them exactly what it is that you want them to do and how you want them to do it, right? Do you want them to pick up the phone and call? Tell them that. Do you want them to go to the website? Tell them that. when they land on the website, make sure that the website aligns with the call to action that's on the mail piece and the offer, which leads me over to consistent messaging. So ensure that the messaging is consistent with your other marketing channels, right? Cyclical omni-channel marketing is what has been shown recently to drive the highest response, because currently in today's time and space, we are just flooded with so many different marketing messages. So the more cyclical and omni-channel you can keep your marketing strategy and solution, the better the likelihood that it impinges in that consumer's mind or that prospect, and really helps to start to develop that relationship with that prospect and drive that conversion. But I can't reinforce enough how important it is to have the messaging be consistent. You know, whatever's on that postcard when they get to the website, make sure they see it there. You know, if you have a mailer that goes out that says, ask us about our $1,000, you know, maybe it's a private school, ask us about our $1,000 grant program, and you get to the website and there's nothing there that talks about $1,000 grant program. You only get a split second, you know, to get somebody to convert. You know, if I get to a website and I can't see it there, and I'm not going to search around an entire website to try to find what it is that you're marketing to me about, right? So make it simple for them and keep it consistent. Okay, so let's go through a couple of examples now of some direct mail retargeting pieces. So this one here is hyper-personalized messaging. Okay, so someone went to the website, they were looking at the new sneaker collection, and they're sending them a postcard to try to get them to bring them back and actually make the purchase. So, hey Jay, we know you're a sneakerhead and we got you. So if you see here, it doesn't say, hey Jay, we're creepy and we know you were on our website, right? It just says, hey, we know you're a sneakerhead. So they know that he was looking at the new sneaker collection. Now with this pixel technology, we capture and provide a 95% accurate residential address for that website visitor. Legally, that is all we can provide. However, from there, we can append up to 3,500 different data points about this website visitor. And so we know that personalization improves the response to mail. So here they appended name, right? They appended name. So they said, hey, Jay, they have a picture of the new sneaker collection that he was looking at. And they're offering him 15% off to come back and make the purchase. So this is an example of a direct mail retargeting piece from Graze. And they really put their money where their mouth is here. This is a really strong offer. They're offering a free Graze box. So here they're telling them is specifically what they would like them to do, right? Somebody went to the website, they left. Hey, you were interested. You know what? We're going to give you one free box. And this is how you take advantage of it. Visit us here. You see the website, enter the code, we'll mail you your free box. So this is a very strong offer. You put in the credit card information, and then of course you're opted in to receive, repeat consecutive Graze boxes. But this is a really strong offer. Most people are definitely going to take advantage of a free box, and then they will probably get residual repeat business from there. So let's talk a little bit about the technology that we have here at DirectMail 2.0 that can really help you provide these kind of campaigns either for yourself, for your business, or a way that you can pass along value to your customers if you're a direct mail service provider. So when someone goes to our website, we really don't have any way to identify who they are without utilizing technology like this, right? The only way that we know someone goes to our website is if they tell us. They have to actually fill out a form and let us know that they were on our website, or they pick up the phone and call, or they reach into our organization. Even with digital marketing in our Google Analytics, we can see when someone gets to our website from certain marketing, right? We can see that somebody came to our website from a social media ad or from a Google ad, but we don't know who they are. We do not know who they are until they reach in, right? And with 96% of people going to the website, responding to our marketing and leaving, it is so valuable for us to be able to identify who these people are. These are the people that are the closest in the funnel to engaging in business with us. This is like gold. This is about as close as it gets to gold, to being able to identify the people that have the highest level of interest in doing business with us. They've already shown the interest, and now all we have to do is re-engage them to increase conversions on our existing marketing. So technology like this, if you're utilizing it for yourself or you're passing it along to your customers, you're actually helping to assist them to increase the return on investment for all of their marketing across the board. Because when everyone that responds to marketing is going on the website, and you actually have the ability to identify who they are, and you can re-engage them with direct mail and make direct mail the hero by driving back conversions on all of their marketing, you're now improving that ROI all overall across the board for the entire marketing strategy. We're also creating, if you're a direct mail service provider, revenue streams through direct mail campaigns, because you're building some of the most effective mailing lists that they are, and you're getting an opportunity to mail to the people that are showing the highest level of interest. So here at DirectMail 2.0, our technology that I've been talking about through this presentation today is called Lead Match. And so you go into our dashboard, you create a campaign. It literally takes 30 seconds. A pixel's created, you put it on the website. We identify anonymous website visitors. We will tell the average duration of time that they've spent on those pages so that you know how interested they are. We will tell the specific top 5 URLs that they went to, so you know specifically what they were interested in. Now, something very interesting, if you see this technology, is called Lead Match. So there's a second component to this technology. The first one is in the identification of the anonymous website visitors. So we're able to identify the people that are showing the highest level of interest. But the second part here is the match part. And so when we use the lead match technology with a mailing list, we actually have the ability to identify direct mail recipients that went to the website and show their contact information. So when a direct mail recipient receives a mail piece and they go online, there is no way for us to track that. Not like we can our digital technologies. Digital, like I said, in my Google Analytics, I can see who came to the site for my digital marketing. With a mail piece, I cannot, not unless they reach in or tell me that they were on my website. But with Lead Match, when we identify an anonymous website visitor, we instantly match that back to the mailing list. And now we can tell you these people on the mailing list actually went to your website. So now you know that the direct mail recipients are responding, the direct mail is working, and specifically who on the mailing list went to the website. So who on the mailing list should be of the utmost importance of you to follow up with. These people were on the website, and this is the average duration of time they spent, and this is specifically the pages that they went to. So we're utilizing this technology to build the perfect mailing list. But like I said before, from there, once we get this 95% accurate address, we can append up to 3,500 different data points, right? So if you're in the automotive industry, your customers are in automotive, maybe you want to append what vehicles are in the household. Maybe the automotive customer wants to know how old are the vehicles? Are they potentially in the market for a new car? Maybe they want to take a trip into our service department. Maybe we market to them about an oil change. If you're that financial institution that I referenced before, and you've pixeled your home equity line of credit page, maybe you would like to know if the person on the site owns a single family home. Are they even eligible to take a home equity line, right? What's their income look like in the household? And we can essentially pre-qualify these data sets prior to putting together a mailing, basically trimming off all the fat, making this mailing list more valuable and enhancing it with so much additional data. And a lot of times, potentially, your customers, or you might want to append phone numbers because you'd like your sales team to call and follow up on these leads. Or maybe you would like to append email addresses because email with direct mail is also a good marketing tactic, right? So we can use data appends to further enhance the list. And so this is where we're just taking existing known customer data, which in our case is a postal address, and it's being matched against databases to obtain additional information. And so this is an arm's length transaction. We're utilizing this pixel, we're grabbing a 95% accurate address, and then from there, we're taking and we're enhancing or we're appending additional data. And then we can follow up with that website visitor to close, drive them back, convert so that we can acquire that business. So why is this so important? Well, one-to-one marketing is very effective. You know, direct marketing actually in today's time and spaces is more important than ever before, right? We really need to create and utilize very targeted marketing campaigns because consumers are so immersed with ads in the entire marketing ecosystem that the more often that we're marketing to the right people with the right messaging, the more likely we're going to drive a response. And that's really why this technology, in my opinion, is like the silver bullet of marketing, because these are the right people in the right place and at the right time, because they're telling you that they're interested right now, right? And so we can drive very high response rates. You know, we can lower direct mail costs by marketing to the right people and really create very targeted, high response direct mail campaigns. We can even create an auto drip program. So in our dashboard, when these campaigns are set up, you can set up auto delivery so that these leads are purchased and a file is delivered to a specific email address once a certain quantity of leads is reached, or maybe you want this done every Monday, but we can auto delivery these leads, and we can use variable data to push these direct mail retargeting campaigns. And sometimes even a customer might pre-print, you know, some of these postcards and have them available too. So on average, we're getting about a 9 to an 18% response rate with direct mail retargeting. And this is actually a stat that is present over around 280 different industries. So I'm asked all the time, you know, hey, what industry does this perform the best in? You know, what's the response rate in financial? What's the response rate here? On average, we're achieving about a 9 to an 18% response rate because we're marketing to the right people. We're marketing to them about things that they're interested in, right? And so we're able to achieve an astronomical response rate to mail. I mean, wow, 9 to 18% response. And then from there, a lot of our partners or clients will add on the DirectMail 2.0 digital integration to repeat that messaging, get that continuous cyclical repetition through the digital enhancement, and increase the response around another 23 to 46% even from there for just a few pennies per mail piece. So really powerful stuff here. Now, you know, you've heard me talking today about how we can identify and provide a 95% accurate residential address. So we might have, you know, some people on the webinar today that say, well, what about B2B? Well, for one, we can identify and provide a business address. So let's say Morgan at DirectMail 2.0 goes on to ABC Printing's website. I'm interested in, you know, a direct mail campaign. You can get the address here, the 600 Cleveland Street, and you can send a direct mail piece here. However, in my opinion, I feel that the residential address is a lot more valuable because when it's delivered to our location here, it may never make it past the office manager's desk. And additionally, you don't know that it was me that was on the website. You just know someone at DirectMail 2.0 or this address, you know, 600 Cleveland Street was on the website, right? But you don't know it was me. Now, if you got my 95% accurate residential address, you would be able to send me a direct mail piece to my home where I look at 100% of my residential mail. And I can say, wow, I was looking at about 6 different direct mail service providers, and they just sent me this postcard, and here's a really good offer. And this is actually kind of impressive, and it's reaching me, the decision maker. I think I might give them a call. Now, that being said, there's no perfect science in marketing, so I would encourage you to grab both data sets and run a test. But a lot of people are working from home, right? So it could be very beneficial to grab that residential address and market to them from there and bypass the gatekeepers as well. Okay, so this is a campaign that we ran, and when I was talking about our matching technology where we can identify the people on the mailing list that went to the website, this is an example of why identifying the people on the mailing list that went to the website is so valuable. This was a campaign that ran with about 4,975 pieces. Okay, there was a call tracking technology utilized on this campaign. However, they only garnered about 17 calls. 17. Pretty underwhelming, right? If I was a customer, I would definitely not be wild about that. Now, of course, there's so many reasons why maybe we wouldn't see a ton of calls here. You know, is the call tracking number on the website? Most times it's not. So I get a mail piece, I go to the website, a different phone number is on the website, I call that number, but I'm converting from the mail, right? However, with the utilization of the lead match pixel, we were able to see 932 people on the mailing list went to the website. Wow. That's an 18% response rate. Without the utilization of this technology, they would probably be pretty underwhelmed with the response. So this type of technology is really helping keeping mail as a contender in the ring, showing that it's working, that people from the mailing list are going to the site, but furthermore, who on the mailing list is going to the website so they can be followed up with. And this is an example of a direct mail retargeting campaign where, you know, we're getting around that 9 to 18% response rate. But this company sells a portable blender. And when you go to the website and you go to leave, a little ad pops up and it says, wait, don't leave, 10% off if you buy now. And obviously, a lot of people think 10% isn't that strong of an offer, so they leave. And then 2 days later, they receive a mail piece for 15% off. And just by increasing that offer, that additional 5% and getting that tangible piece in front of the prospective consumer, they were able to achieve about a 15% response rate from the direct mail retargeting. And almost a 13% conversion rate from return visitors. So that's just one example of how powerful this strategy can truly be. Now, this is a nonprofit that not only just utilized the lead match pixel, but also used DirectMail 2.0. Okay, and from adding DirectMail 2.0 onto their mail piece, they were able to increase giving about 25%. They were able to convert 5,400 lapsed donors, re-engage them, resurrect them, bring them back to life, and garner a donation from 5,400 lapsed donors. Increase monthly donors 78%, and the utilization of the lead match pixel helped them to garner about 6,780 first-time donors. So, nonprofit, the list gets saturated. We're asking the same people for money over and over again. Not to be morbid, but people pass away. So we can take this pixel and put it on a website on the ways to give page or the ways to get involved. We can find out and identify people that are interested in the cause, maybe people that are interested in donating their time or goods or services, their prospects for asking a monetary donation as well. And they were able to generate almost 7,000 first-time donors through that lead match pixel. This is a higher education case study. This is well used, the entire DirectMail 2.0 platform and lead match. So with DirectMail 2.0, the additional digital technology on top of the direct mail campaign, they were able to increase their total deposits 53%, increased students admitted into deposits around 26%. But what is really astounding about this campaign is the direct mail retargeting staff. So they used lead match, they identified the people that were interested in the educational institution, they mailed to them, they added DirectMail 2.0 above and beyond just utilizing the direct mail retargeting, and they achieved a 25% response rate. That's unbelievable. And this is higher education. This isn't, you know, just a $100, you know, pair of shoes cycle. We're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars, for each conversion. So this is a really good example of the powerful punch that we can pack when we layer on existing technology on top of direct mail, or when we utilize sophisticated tracking technology to identify the right people, right? Because 65% of our marketing is who we're marketing to. So just marketing to the right people is what is going to be super effective in marketing. And that's exactly what this technology is helping us to achieve. So, I've talked a little bit about direct mail retargeting, but as I said here at DirectMail 2.0, we do have an 11 technology platform where we can seamlessly track the direct mail marketing channel, whether that's, showing projected mail dates, when it's projected to be delivered, delivery confirmation. And from there, we can also layer on digital marketing technology to provide an omni-channel marketing campaign to increase response about 23 to 46%. We do achieve all that for just a few pennies per mail piece. Also currently going on right now until December 31st is the informed delivery 4% postage discount. So we can deploy just informed delivery campaigns where you can take advantage of that 4% postage discount, or through the utilization of our entire technology platform, you can take advantage of those discounts as well. We're also rolling out a new feature here in the coming weeks with QR codes, static and dynamic, and that will align quite appropriately with the mobile shopping promo that's starting on September 1st as well. So if you have any more questions about direct mail retargeting, if I can just be a resource on that, please reach out. I can be reached at this email address here, the sales@dm20.com. Or if you're interested in learning more about DirectMail 2.0 and our other functionality, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have on that also.
And Morgan, thank you for that. We do have some questions. Frank, what is the optimum number of visitors to a website on a daily basis in order to make the cost of, say, a direct mail postcard, etc., effective? Must it be in the thousands or just 500 or 50 or 100 visitors per day?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, I think that it really depends upon what the average value of one customer is to that customer. I mean, if you get one direct mail piece and you mail to the prospect and they convert, well, then it's valuable, right? And so I don't know that there's any specific quantity that you want to make it valuable, but I will tell you most times, once a pixel's on a website, they like to wait until they have somewhere around 250 visitors so that they can make pre-sort when they send out a mailing. But like I said, some might just have postcards pre-printed and they resend them out so that they just send them out immediately once they get that website visitor's contact information.
Okay, and a follow-up question to that. If cookies are going away as reported, how will this affect your ability to identify the visitor?
Well, Google actually just released an article, it was last week, that they are actually delaying removing cookies till 2024. So that's not even something that is of any type of concern right now, at least for a couple more years. Also, that is essentially a remarketing pixel or remarketing cookie. So I don't know that the utilization of this lead match technology would be incorporated into the elimination of cookies, because that's just focusing on one core aspect, which is digital retargeting. But of course, here at DirectMail 2.0, we're always staying ahead of the curve. We're always looking at different marketing solutions. We know that things in the marketing ecosystem can change in an instant. So we have tons of things on the back burner that we can deploy when changes might come up on the horizon. But for now, we did do a lot of work in that regard with that announcement, and now they've delayed it to 2024. So it's not going anywhere for a while.
All right. Mitch asks, does your data include business titles, etc.?
Yeah, so for the business data, we do have the ability to provide a few contacts at that organization. Although you won't know who specifically was on the site. When we provide the business address, you'll get the business address, the company name, a few contacts at that organization, a few hash emails at that organization, but you won't know specifically who was on the site. That's why I was saying the residential, I feel so much more valuable because you know it was me and you can market to me at my residence.
All right. Keith asks, Morgan, how do you imagine pricing the direct mail retargeting function? Does it only make sense if the DM 2.0 partner uses bulk lead match credits? For a single piece mailing, is the partner going to pay for a minimum job?
Yeah, so if you're just doing a lead match campaign, Keith, I don't think that you need lead match bulk credits because with the cost of the lead is still very inexpensive. Most companies are paying somewhere around $250 for one web lead, right? So when you think that maybe you're charging them, I don't know, 30 cents, 50 cents per lead for something that drives a 9 to 18% response rate, you're fine on that price point, or even for just the cost of the mail. I definitely wouldn't suggest adding the DirectMail 2.0 platform on top of, a mailing that's just one or two pieces. You'd want to at least wait until you had a list that was, I would say bare minimum, 1,000, 1,500. Yeah.
All right. Richard asks, what percentage of visitors are you able to identify? And does the consumer have to go to build a cart if they simply go to a secondary page, not the home page? Is that enough to generate their address?
Oh, so on average, what average website traffic to identify, it varies and fluctuates so wildly and so greatly. I have seen the pixel identify as low as 30% of traffic. I've seen it identify as high as 95% of traffic. Now, one thing that I can say is that our algorithm errs very far on the side of caution, meaning when we provide the data, we want it to be at least 95% accurate. So our parameters are very, very tight. So I think that we probably provide less website visitors than more because we would rather the information be more accurate. Okay, so it really depends. It really depends. Now, what was the second question? Oh, about yeah. So if someone goes to a website, all they have to do is go to the site. They don't have to fill out a form. They don't have to start taking any kind of action. All they need to do is simply land on the website, and then we have the ability to identify them. But it's going to be different, honestly, with different websites and depending upon even with the matching technology, like say for example, it's 1, 2, 3, maybe the address is wrote a certain way, and when we identify the address on the website, if it's identified and provided in a different way, it may not show a match. So it has to be a very close match.
Okay. And Jamie, Brad, and Morgan will follow up with you afterwards directly. And I sent that to Brad in a chat too.
Oh, thank you.
Then Lynn's asked, I have a question about the minimum user threshold for the pages that we pixel for the DM retargeting. If we pixel very select pages that receive super qualified traffic, do we need to be aware of a minimum quantity of DM pieces that get sent for those pages, or best practices around this topic?
Yeah, I mean, not really. It just depends on how you're mailing. If you want to wait till you have a certain quantity to make pre-sort, you can do that. Or, they can place an individual stamp on them. I think the whole idea here is getting the direct mail piece in front of that consumer to drive that conversion. Now, of course, if you're a direct mail service provider, operationally, you want this to work as cohesive as possible. So I think we just take this on a case-by-case basis. Let's see how many leads are being identified in the site. Maybe we commingle some mailings together and we put them in a run so that it makes more sense. But that's really up to you. There's really no minimum quantity. that has to be sent, unless you're taking things into consideration like postage and operational considerations.
Okay. All right. I think that concludes all of our questions and answers. Nobody else has posted any. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. And thank you again, Morgan, for doing this presentation. And you'll send me the deck so I can send that out to all the registered. And we'll send out a link to the video and the deck at the end of this, or probably within the next hour or two. So that'll be available. And I guess that concludes it. I don't see any more questions.
Thanks, Nat.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.